Welcome back to Creeper World 4, everyone. We're back in the Colonies. I'm going to do a map that's quite a bit faster than the Depths was. Another one that was requested some while ago for me to try out. This is Wave Pool by Volix. Waves of Creeper and AC crash against each other. Make sure the anti-Creeper wins. Limited setup here, pretty straightforward. But there are some different options on how to go about it. If we look at the times, we've got a Totem's objective and right there, and then the nullify objective. And the nullify best times are around 11 minutes or so. The totem's objectives, there's actually at least one that was under 8 minutes. So, really quick comparatively. Let's see how we fare on this particular attempt. So, the enemy starts from the right, we start from the left. Got the breeder terrain top to bottom on both ends, and it's the same in both cases. 12 strength for creeper, 6 for anti-creeper. So we both get to breed our material, but the AC is going to need some help against the creeper is the basic idea. There are 2 skimmer factories and 2 emitters, and that's it. No spore launchers, no air sacs, none of that. Totems here in the middle. 3 of the 5 urns are here in the middle. Green R's here in the middle. You know, this is sort of the battleground area. And we're going to be beginning over here. Read on, and of course, the resource terrain going to be quite important. Now, because of how quickly the breeder over here is going to multiply the creeper, you can see there is its first set. It's not going to spread it all the way along until a little bit later. But it's going to advance out. It's going to cover some of these islands in the battleground area fairly quickly. It takes only about a little bit over a minute to get there. And for us to get energy positive, everything we're building up here is going to take almost 2 minutes. So we just don't have the option of stretching out here. But there's essentially 2 ways to go about this. I'm going to take a page from the way we did the depths. You can, set yourself up and then gradually push forward. Or you can do sort of a hammer and anvil approach. We're going to block them off here, then hit them in the back with air power. We'll see that coming in a bit. We've got to build up here first. Our first 2 urns we're putting under energy and mine production. We're not going to do any of the weapons boosts for now. Here comes another nice spike of creeper. Up over 40k or so. You can see the off switch is pretty high on this. You can have a pretty high density of creeper if you allow it to happen. We'll be trying to prevent that. And we can really start to see the wave action happening from that direction. But we have nothing yet on our side. Just need to get these miners up, and then we can begin working on trying to match it. And another wave moving forward. There we go. So we're going to turn on the factory first. Wait for energy to get a little better. There we go. We'll turn those on. Maybe get the urn portal going. Okay, now we're really starting to make some progress. I am going to turn a couple of these to blueite. A couple of these miners. And my goal is, the purpose of having these all spread out. I have the 3 sprayers, and they're all set to always on. They want to spread anti-creeper so that we get the full range of it breeding at the first opportunity there. So that's what that's all about. And then we're going to turn on mortars and snipers. As our energy ramps up, let's use it for those. We're going to want to turn on these runways, because they're going to take a long time to get rolling. You know what? Let's go ahead with these bombers too. I do want to place down. I'm going to want them up here. Let me just get them down now. I'm going to want some AC bombers as well. Just regular bombers for that first set. AC bombers over here. And these, we're not going to actually build them yet. Just getting them down. Okay, see, now we're getting lower, so we'll go ahead and turn all these off for a bit. Because I still want to let the runways build up first. So we'll go ahead and do some on and off bits here, but you can see we're spawning our first bunch of fun over here with the AC, and we're now going to turn off those sprayers. I just want to bank the AC for use in the bombers. Let's get you back on. We're not really using much of our energy, so let's get that rolling. And this is starting to ramp up now. We're fairly balanced, I think. And then it's really going to tank once we get these bombers online. You can see the mortar's just trying to hold this back until the AC waves come forward, which is beginning to happen now. When these come up, I want them to just hit this entire area of breeder back here. Just limit, much as I did with the depths, limit the amount of breeder they get. You can see, you know, Creeper outnumbering AC like 7-1 right now. And now we're building up these bombers and totally tanked on energy. So we're just going to wait for that. We're sitting most of the way up to what we're going to have on energy. It just takes, of course, a certain amount for that first bit. And here comes our first bunch of skimmers riding over the top. Sniper's going to do their task. And the thing about this is the skimmers aren't that hazardous because the AC is going to protect us from the creeper, even if they stun some of our stuff here. So now we're launching with those. And as soon as we get the energy, I want to go with the AC bombers. But let's get the energy refilled here first. All of you can come up. And let's get these porters on as well. Won't be needing them for a while, but let's get them ready. We're still looking pretty good on energy. I don't want to flip them all yet. Let's get some of these over to Blueite. Make sure we've got plenty for when it's time to fill up these bombers. And then we're going to, of course, tank again as the regular bombers take off, and it's breeding more over there now. So I think it's probably a good point to get these set up. I want 2 squads of my AC bombers. And I want them to focus on each end. Push about halfway down. So the idea is they want to get this turn to breeding AC over here. Then this group can do the opposite on this end. And if they can stop these emitters from leaking onto there, then we should be doing pretty well. I'm going to wait to catch up from this latest takeoff of the bombers, then they'll be spread out pretty well. There they go. AC bombers are up. See, they are still getting some breeding done over here. We aren't effective enough to completely stop it yet till we get the AC in place. And now we're starting to have them take off. Okay, now we're positive on energy, so I want to flip over a few more of these. Not all of them, but I think about there. Should balance between refilling our bombers, basically, and getting these AC ones in place. Okay, and now, just going to hold on a moment here and get our porters moving. I'm just going to slide them along the back here. And boom, 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 our payload of AC now beginning to take over. Lost some of those as we have not quite got this fully under our control. But we will get it. We just need to take enough runs at this. There we go. Now we're feeling better at it. We're pushing out. So now I want to throw some pylons up in here. Both directions. And then, of course, just plop down nullifiers on everything. Put one there. We just need a little more creeper to breed, AC rather, to breed over here, to get all of that in place. Then, of course, the regular bombers just flying back and forth, making sure they hit anything. AC continuing to multiply. Now that the creeper is essentially not breeding at all over here, we're about even. And we're going to be much better than even soon, in terms of the comparison of what we have compared to what they have. Plenty of energy coming in for our efforts with the nullifiers. We have the skimmers down, so our snipers are no longer useful. And then when these twos go up, well, this is all going to be over. Of course, we could crawl back through all this, grab the green R, activate the totems. But we're taking the other route in this particular case. Control the breeder, control the game, and we get it done in less than 10 minutes. So, that was definitely a successful little romp through the wave pool. And we'll go ahead and throw that in, which is, I believe to date, the fastest time for that objective. If it's not, it's very close. But I've seen a number of 10 11 minutes. I haven't seen any under 10. That's pretty cool. And we'll be definitely having a more involved and more challenging mission coming up for the weekend if I can manage it. But until then, thanks for watching. More Creeper World 4 coming soon.